Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of a vintage makeover. Today we're going to be transforming this old dresser into this beautiful creation, and I'm so excited about it. If you want to see the process, then stay tuned. This piece has such a beautiful shape to it with those 6 panels on the front of the drawers. I really wanted to make those pop in the end of the look. After I was finished brainstorming about how I was going to transform this piece, it was time to remove the hardware and begin sanding. I decided that I want this piece both painted and stained, so I'm completely removing the paint and sanding all the way down to the natural wood on that top slab. I was just using an 80 grit sandpaper on my electric sander and the paint was coming off pretty easily. For the sides, I just did a light sanding so that my new paint color can adhere better. The most important part of this piece to me is the drawers, so I'm just sanding down completely to the wood just on those front square panels. I plan on painting around those panels with the new paint color. After sanding, I just gave it a good clean to get rid of all that sawdust. Then it was time for the staining process, and I used a gel stain in a hickory color, and I just applied that thickly with a brush and then wiped it away after about 5 minutes with a cloth. I stained all the areas that I sanded down to the natural wood. Once the staining was done, it was time for the paint, and I actually mixed up my own unique paint color with some colors that I had laying around. It made for the perfect pop of color and looked so amazing with that hickory stain. The best way to get clean lines when going around like a panel like this, I like to use some firm pressure and just do one long stroke rather than a bunch of little brush strokes. Usually when painting a piece, I usually need more than one coat of paint, but this one only needed one coat. I was shocked. Probably because the paint that I was using had both a paint and primer built into it. For the inside of the drawers, I used the sock method to get the thinnest coat of paint I could, just so the drawers could close nicely. I also went in with a little bit of a lighter shade of green. And then for the best part, it's time for our stenciling, and we're going to be using this lovely damask pattern. I'm only going to be using part of it because it's a little larger than the panel on the drawers, but I'm lining it up on the center of the panel where my knob is going to go when I put them back on, and I think it's just going to make such a wonderful outcome. The patterning looks so elegant on the stained wood. I love how it turned out. I was so excited when I was coming up to that finish line and putting those drawers back in and adding those finishing touches to the hardware. The variety that this piece has just makes it so unique. The patterning on the stained areas just stands out so nicely against the plain painted areas. Also, adding that coat of glossy black paint onto the hardware just makes them shine so beautifully. This concludes today's vintage makeover. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to check back next week. Head to our website to check out more of our stencils, and don't forget to tag us on social media with your stencil art.